Hello everybody, welcome to Poly Games. I'm your host Joseph, and today we're going to have a huge review of the PlayStation VR. You guys sent in a ton of questions, and I have a ton of answers for you guys. So I'm going to break up this review in three parts. We're going to talk about the aesthetics, the hardware, and my experiences overall with the console itself. With that said, let's get right into it. Let's start with aesthetics. Yes, this headset looks pretty, but either way, when you put this thing on your head, you're going to look fucking ridiculous. Whether you're wearing an Oculus, a Vive, or the PlayStation, you're gonna look stupid. So what do I mean when I say aesthetics? I'm really talking about how comfortable it is on your head. Sony put a lot of thought into the PlayStation VR when it comes to people with glasses. So right off the bat, if you're wearing glasses, you could wear glasses with the VR and it doesn't ruin your experience. And how it does this is these rubber flaps at the end. Instead of hard foam and plastic hitting your face, you're getting these rubber panels that kind of just morph into your face, allowing it so that no light seeps in without you getting hit in the fucking face with hard plastic. I know, I hated that with the Vive. I felt like it was really intrusive and I didn't like the feel of it. It felt kind of weighty to me. The PlayStation VR felt really, really nice. Right now, to this day, I love putting it on. I could play it for hours on end and not feel like over encumbered on my face area. So with that said, that's its strong suit. The PlayStation VR is the most comfortable VR headset I have tried. I would have to give it a 9.5. It's near perfect. But where it falls under is the hardware. So as you guys know, my first VR experience was demoing the PlayStation VR. And I got to try the HTC Vive actually at New York Comic Con. And it only took about 15 seconds to realize that the Vive, hardware-wise, was a far superior product to the PlayStation VR. Overall, my biggest compliment to the HTC Vive was the two 4K screens it has in the headset. One screen for each eye. As for the PlayStation VR, it only has one screen. It's a 1080p screen, OLED, but still nowhere near as superior and pixel density wise as a 4K screen. That means the visuals I was staring at the Vive were way more crisp, way more kind of realistic in a way, because I didn't see anything called a screen door effect, and that's when you're looking at an image in VR that it looks like you're staring at it through a screen door. With the PlayStation VR, you're going to experience that a lot with games that are dimly lit. Games like Rush for Blood, games like Batman Arkham VR. You're going to experience that screen door effect at points because of the lighting. When you see barely lit or poorly lit areas in a video game, you're going to see those pixels on the screen, and that's really, really annoying. It kind of breaks you out of the immersion. But then you also have to kind of come with the facts that, comparison-wise, the PlayStation VR is a Kia, right? It's something you buy for your kid so you could smash up. The Vive is the Cadillac. The Vive you take out on the weekends, to really enjoy VR. This is PlayStation VR is the entry model product. And I'm just surprised that it's being powered by a PlayStation 4. The Vive's being powered by, a $600,000, $800,000 computer. And the PlayStation VR could still do many of the things the Oculus and the Vive can do. Yes, there are some features it can't do. Yes, there's only one camera and only one sensor, but it can still do and play with the big boys on several other things. The motion controls surprise me of how good they are. When I bought that PlayStation camera, I was like, this is going to have some really shitty motion controls. And I'm surprised at how accurate the motion controls really are with the Move. The only problem is, because it is going off the light of the Move controllers, it's tracking. That means you can't be near a window, you can't have a lamp on, or else it's going to fuck with the motion tracking. I would just try to make the lights a little dim, or maybe play in the dark for the best experience. But I played with the lights on. I didn't feel the poor tracking. I was fine with it. I actually like the Move controllers. They're not as great as the Vive, but like I said, entry level. I would have to say that I was impressed that it's able to do a lot of things the big boys do, just won't look that pretty. So I'll have to give overall the hardware about a 7. It's very good. It's not great. It's not amazing. It is not mediocre either. It is a very good experience I have with the PlayStation VR. The one thing I do want to mention, the one question I also get asked is, how much space do you really need? Do you really need 9 feet of space? I played with the 9 feet of space. That's fine if you're standing up. That is what you will need. If you're sitting down, though, my room is practically a shack, and I had like 3, maybe 4 feet of space around me. No problem whatsoever. I had no problem with a very cramped space or a very wide space. I enjoyed playing either way. So the last but certainly not least is the overall experience I had with PlayStation VR. And one of the number one questions also you asked was, how is theater mode? For those of you who don't know what theater mode is where you can play normal games in VR, you can watch Netflix in VR, and all it does is blow up the image to make it look like a 100-inch screen TV, like you're watching it in a cinema. It's alright. If you have a 20-inch monitor or a 30-inch TV, I can see the appeal. But the images look a little bit too blown up. You get that screen door effect more times than you would like. And overall, it's just kind of a mediocre experience that you don't necessarily need. I found when I was playing watching Netflix, the screen would constantly start veering to the left. And I would have to reconfigure the screen to go center again. You have to do that a lot in some of these VR games. More than I would like. And how you just reconfigure it is you press and hold the options button for like more than a second, and everything's back to normal. But doing that is a little bit of a pain in the ass, and it's a little annoying that I have to start always recentering the damn image to the screen, especially with Netflix. Theater mode, meh. The cool thing is you can use this as a second screen experience. If your boyfriend, girlfriend, friend, mom, dad want to watch TV, you can put the VR headset on, play your game while they're watching football, watching whatever the fuck they're doing. Awesome. That is fantastic. Sorry, perverts out there who are asking for porn. There are ways to do it, and you guys are too clever, but also kind of disgusting. So, yes, feel ashamed of yourself for asking that question, and yes, it is amazing. The one also cool thing is that you can watch VR, experience VR, without it being plugged into a TV. One viewer was asking, how is it, like, do I need a TV for VR? And I was like, well, you need a TV to play video games. But no, you don't need to. With the PlayStation VR, you can do it without a TV. I unplugged the HDMI, it worked, and I was amazed. Now, overall, the games are hit or miss. I can't really say that there is a killer app for this thing right now. Riggs was kind of a miss for me. Eve was kind of a miss for me. This pen almost fucking flew out of my hand. But it was the smaller experiences like Res Infinite, like Thumper, like Batman, like Rush of Blood, that I had a lot of fun with. And I feel like, in my Skeptics video to now, my thoughts are the same with VR. It has a great opportunity. It has great potential. More potential than Kinect has. More potential that the Wii had. More potential than the Move had. It's how developers are going to use this technology that is really going to dictate whether this is a success or not. It's what Sony, HTC, Oculus, what these 3 companies do will dictate whether VR is a success, not now, but in the future. With that said, though, a lot of the games like I had fun with, like Thumper, like Res, you don't need VR to play it. VR adds nothing but immersion, and that's kind of the thing that kind of defeats it, is their strongest feature, immersion. I feel like a lot of these games I'm confined. I don't feel like I'm part of the world. I'm just feeling like I'm going on a roller coaster, or I'm teleporting all over the map. I'm not truly feeling like I'm a part of this world. I'm just visiting it. The must-have games, Batman, Res, Thumper, Rush of Blood were my favorites. But once you beat them once or twice, there's not a lot going back to it. It's real weird. I'm going to rate this machine at 8.5. It's a great machine. It's a great entry-level kit. But I can't recommend it right now because there's nothing out there that says you need this right fucking now. Yes, I get it. There's the novelty of being immersed in something, but that novelty will only last for so long. So I look at games like Farpoint, I look at games like Resident Evil, and I look at games like Battlefront with the X-Wing VR. Come on, fucking release it already. That get me really excited for VR. So I'm excited to see the future of it still skeptical though. I still think if you're on the fence, stay off it for a while and come back to it in a few months. VR still isn't for everyone. I don't think this is the end-all, be-all. This is where gaming's going next. No, there are way too many limitations. things like if you wear glasses, things like if you get motion sickness very easily. Things like that come into play. It's too limiting still to be the future of gaming that a lot of people try to perceive it to be. I'm going to end this rant here, though. I give it an 8.5. It's great. Can't recommend it right now. Let's see how it is in January, and I'll probably give an update video on PlayStation VR. So with that being said, if you like what you see, you want to see more of it, please hit like, share, subscribe. It helps me out, shows me that you care. Yeah, if you have any questions about PlayStation VR, put them down on the comment section down below. I will answer them if I haven't answered them already in this video. Everybody, have a great day. I'm going to go eat some pasta.